Okay, here I just want to use this ad that I place on Cult of Copy job board to look at the principle of anchoring and how I use it in a subtle way here in this particular ad. Now, let's first consider the ad itself, and then we'll look at the principle. Ebook Copywriter COC Special. In 2002, I wrote my first ebook, crafted the copy, and it went to sell over $100,000 for myself and a few resellers. That sales letter became the basis of a copywriting course that sold tens of thousands as well. Since then, I've written many ebooks and sales letters that made the sellers famous. If I name the authors, you will recognize them right away. Although my name never appeared on those books, I know my writing was part of the secret of their success. I don't do ghostwriting anymore, and the last project I did was for $19,000 in 2008. Do you have an ebook about to launch or one that is not selling well? As a COC special, I'll write you a sales letter for just $14.97 or $1,500. It must be an ebook, no membership site or software, or payment is full upfront, and the turnaround is 30 days. If you have any question, you can message me here. Okay, now here, note here that the first number that I mentioned is 100,000. Okay, a big number. Then I go to tens of thousands, a little smaller, and then I go to 19,000, a little smaller, and then finally when I present the price, it comes to $14.97. Now notice that the numbers go from therefore to big to small. Okay, now of course the first two numbers are incomes and the second two numbers are fees. So classically speaking, they don't actually belong to the same category, but still what I'm doing is that I'm mentioning a big number at the beginning of the ad, hoping that by the time the reader comes to the end of the ad, they'll be able to see a number that would appear much smaller than if they had seen this number up front. Okay, and that is the whole principle of anchoring. The whole idea of anchoring is that for human, is how the human mind works. My mind and your mind works. We never take anything at its absolute value. Okay, we always evaluate something as compared to something else. Okay, and so if you are presented a price after you have been presented a higher price, that price appears a little lower than if you had been presented that price originally. Now, the principle of anchoring is used very commonly in those who are involved in direct sales, in stores and so forth. You might go, so for example, to buy a washing machine, and normally the salesperson, if you do not go and say, well, this is the particular model I'm looking for, if you ask them to show you what they have, they often start off by showing you the most expensive brand, and it's not because they're hoping that you would actually buy that, that particular brand or machine. What they're hoping is that by the time you come to the one that you can really afford to buy, that machine would appear like such a big deal compared to the other expensive machines. Okay, we have the principle as well too that is used, for example, when prices are presented in stores and they are crossed off. So it said this must be like, this was at $27, but now it is only $10. Okay, hopefully they are hoping that you would look at the 27 and then compare it to the 10, and therefore make your decision a lot easier to make. Now let's look at an example here from Akish Kothari website, and we're going to look at a painting, stories told here of a painting that one gallery was trying to sell, and it was very difficult for them to get this painting sold. They were selling this particular painting for $25,000, but it was there for 3 months and nobody was buying this, this painting. So they got an, they got an idea. Why not create another painting that is very similar to the first painting, but it's just a little larger than it, and charge a little bit more than the other painting. So here the painting was now, the new painting was for $40,000, and the original painting that they were trying to get sold was for $25,000. Okay, and so it is said that just within a couple of days the original painting was gone. So what appeared to be expensive at first, which is $25,000, was now not so expensive. Now there was another painting that was next to it. okay? And those persons are involved in, for example, in real estate. You go to a real estate agent and you say, you know, I would like to buy this particular house. This is my price range and so forth. They would often show you one or two houses that they know that you're not going to like. And the whole idea is that when they come to the home that they know that you're actually going to fall in love with, they know that you're going to be comparing it to those houses that you just saw. Maybe the rooms were not as big, maybe the backyard was not as inviting, maybe the curb appeal. But what they're doing is just basically they're anchoring you to those homes that they know that you're not going to love, because by the time you come to the house that you're really going to love or want to buy, they know that your decision is going to be even stronger than if they're showing you that original house first time, you know, going around. Now, in the romantic world, many people refer to this as, you know, falling in love on the rebound. And the whole idea is that if you're just out of a relationship, say a girl dumped you, and so you're now out of this particular relationship, now the other girl seems a lot more attractive than if you were in the original, still in the original relationship. So simply because you have been dumped from one relationship, it makes that other relationship seem so much more attractive. And again, it's how the mind works. It's a matter of anchoring. You're anchoring this new person to the one who, you know, who dumped you. And so oftentimes you say they fall in love on the rebound, and oftentimes those relationships do not last for a very long time. And that's how the mind works, okay? So it's not a matter of that you're tricking someone, but you must be aware of how anchoring works, so you know you're making your decisions, you know, to be as absolute as possible. But this is an effective means of persuasion in copywriting as well too. For example, you might be selling a course, and you might show what other people spend for it. For example, I have an ad right now on Craigslist for a refrigerator, and what I'll do in those Craigslist ads, I would always place early up in the ad what the original price of the product was, new. So this new refrigerator was for $1,400, but I'm selling, you know, on Craigslist for only $400. The $400 seem a lot more attractive than if I had presented this price without showing what the new price, what a brand new one costs. Of course, the refrigerator is not new, but still presenting that original price gives someone an anchor point to compare the 400 to than if I just presented, you know, that price. So there are so many different ways in which, you know, you can use anchoring in your copy and in your selling in order to be more successful.